do a daily gratitude over here. I'm happy from shit talking. It's funny. I think a lot about basketball lately because it was such a kind of feast or famine thing for me. I mean, if my life had turned out differently, it would have been basketball. Not in the NBA, but it's like, like I would have played Division 1 college basketball, and then there would have been a career around basketball. It would, like, what happens is you just get to be around the game. You can be a coach, you can do whatever. I would have had, or there's networking. It just would have been a very different trajectory had I gone down that path. Um, that would have been the one. That would have been the one kind of savior. But my family and me combined to ruin that. But I think more about like what playing was for me, and how I was on the basketball court, and how excellence in sports is an incredibly big red flag for obsessive compulsive trauma responses, and how, for me, I couldn't control anything in my life. Now what I'm going to say is not working on a conscious level for a child. Our subconscious works out our problems in ways we may never understand. But for me, basketball was incredibly complex in what it was doing for this kind of child of a yoga teacher, in Mequon, and I was a good athlete naturally. And number one, it was connecting me to my peers. I love basketball, so all of this starts with I've never felt more free than when I was playing basketball. I never felt more valuable, and it was first and foremost connecting me to my peers. We didn't watch football. I've never seen my dad drink a beer. Never. He'll drink wine. Never seen him drink a beer. I didn't really know what the Packers were when I walked into kindergarten. I didn't eat. I had never eaten meat. This is Port Washington, Wisconsin, 1984. And fast forward, soccer was my first love. Actually, I was really good at soccer. I averaged a hat trick a game one year actually. Uh, and that connected me to all of my first friends, among other weird things, which I'll tell stories of at other times. But you know, in Mequon, I was shitty at basketball. This is my autism. Until I was amazing. It was I didn't get it until I got it, and then it was an obsessive compulsive. Put the ball in the hoop. I couldn't control anything. I could put the ball in the hoop. I shot threes from the five spot, which was ahead of my time. I led the Homestead freshman team in points, rebounds, three pointers attempted, three pointers made, steals, blocks, second in assists. But uh, you know, I, a narcissist, the children, my psychological makeup meant that, like, it wasn't giving me the same things it would have been giving a child with a strong foundation. It was a release, and a safety valve, and a place for me to be free, and be connected initially. And then when I got good, it was all my mother loved me for. It was she's never forgiven me for not playing college basketball. She loves college basketball. To this day, she'll talk about how she watches it. She knows I can't really watch basketball. Um, I tried watching the Bucks game last night, and Chris Middleton gets hurt. But uh, at its apex for me, it was complete freedom. And the point of me talking about this was that I actually didn't talk shit on the basketball court, like, really that much to opponents. I was like yelling at myself most of the time, or the refs. I played really angry. Like, I would elbow the fuck out of people. I mean, I liked the physical component of it more than I understood. And I actually miss that now. I think a lot when I see my friend Friedland all the time, who's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. My friends, I mean, obviously, if you're around here, you know him. But, like, I think about, like, physical contact in an athletic sense a lot, and how much I miss that. And I'm actually, like, stronger than I've ever been, so I could mix it up right now. But I'm just really thankful for having that. I don't it went off the rails, and when it did, it went off the rails in spectacular fashion, as always for me. I thought I would when I initially quit my high school team. I thought I would play AAU still, And then my AAU coach got hired at UWM to be a college coach, which by NCAA rules meant I couldn't really even talk to him. And he had been close, that's like, I mean, I was in need of male mentors and father figures. And the loss of the high school coach turning on me because his son was behind me on the depth chart and I got in trouble for smoking pot. And then losing Rick, um, it's just I'm happy that I had it when it did. I think that it's easy to look at it and go, I fucked that up, and I have to carry that with me. Although I actually think, even though it did incalculable damage to my life, that it makes perfect sense, and I don't actually fault myself for it. But I do wish it had gone a different way, just for my own personal sanity. But looking back, I choose to say it was, for a brief period of time, um, it made things better for me as an experience of life. And my love of basketball, it's hard that I can't really. I mean, I think because I had season tickets growing up, and it was with my dad, and also with my stepfather, who I don't talk about, but there's just it's there's very difficult things going on in that area too. It's just difficult. I mean, it's Bucks games. It's like the food thing. I mean, with my dad, 90% of our time together was either at a movie eating or at a Bucks game. Um, so all of those things are so heavily he's there. I've had to kind of make peace. When we deal with detaching from our family, it's really detaching from ourself in a certain way, and we have to choose, like, this is, I can deal with this. This is too painful. And basketball remains largely in the too painful thing. Movies are coming back. Food is still somewhat difficult. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is like what family estrangement is like. It's a severing. I mean, I said it as a joke, like I'm my own lineage, but I am. I mean, I don't really have a connection, and I never did, to anyone. I realize now that like the way I am, the way they are, like the way my father kept me from his family, the way my mother's family didn't nurture the fact that I'm part of my dad. Like I'm just me. And I'm really happy about that. Actually, it's a difficult it's a difficult thing to learn to love yourself after so much trauma, but it's not impossible. And I actually think it makes the best people. The lower we go and climb out of, the better we come out of it. I truly believe that. I don't think that's like a Hallmark card slogan or anything. I think that's just what history has proven to us. I mean, there's a reason black women are some of the best writers this planet's ever birthed.